is I think there was just an initial misunderstanding by a lot of people about what this comes with. Kind of like CAP, like people are just like, oh, it's programming. I'm
Hmm.
like, no, it's not. Like you're getting a ton of other stuff with that, as
Arrested
is,
development and all this.
yeah,
Yeah.
as is this. And so I think people just didn't grasp like what it was they would be getting.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. I think that's what really excites me about it too, because I think, the one problem we're solving for, which I think we knew we had, was that people just want a doctor who gets CrossFit, right? Who does CrossFit. But we're actually solving for so much more than that. This is not just a telemedicine or just a primary care service with doctors who do CrossFit. It's actually also taking this very personalized approach with really a technology and algorithm that Wild Health has developed that doesn't exist anywhere else. It's something that they've invested a lot of resources in, realizing that there's a lot of science out there. There's a lot of data that's not being implemented. Like we know it takes something like 30 years from a research article to come out that tells us something for it to actually be incorporated into medical school curriculum. And so they're taking all that information and implementing it in a way that's deliverable to people and that's usable, and that's again not taking away from the basics, but using this additional science that we have just to help inform, whether it's just to help motivate behavior change or whether it's to just to help us minimize those N-of-1 experiments that we have to do, giving us a little bit more direction on where to start. When Matt and Mike first started providing this care, it was taking them like 10 hours per patient to sort through all the genetic data. It's like if a patient gets 23andMe, they look through that whole report. Then they look through all the labs. Then they talk to the patient and try to understand their goals. And it was taking an incredible amount of time. And they've invested a lot of resources into really automating a lot of this so that the time that we do spend face to face with a patient is really on the relationship. And then we use a lot of this technology to give us information that can be useful, but it's all about the relationship. And then what of this information do we actually take and apply that's relevant for this human sitting in front of me? And I think that's the sort of the unique thing, like you mentioned, 23andMe or some of these other services that are using a lot of technology or testing. What we have here is all of that testing, but also the like personal relationship of how do I actually apply this to my life.